Hey guys, I just made it to Mr. Bill's farm. I'm gonna let him tell you about it. This great process he's got going and everything about his company. I'm gonna let him explain it to y'all guys. Here's Mr. Bill. How you doing today, Mr. Bill?
I am fantastic. My name is Bill. I do Bill's Gardening, Happy Days Redworm Farm. I do 2 farmers markets. I sell produce, organic soil, biodynamic soil. If you want to look that up, it means a lot of activity in the soil. So the soil can give you, in return, feed your plants. Feed your soil, feed your plants. And then the macronutrients, they feed you, especially if you get into that 12-hour time zone of pick to eat. Today I'm doing my bagging. I'm bagging my ultra awesome soil. It's called the Happy Days Worm Soil. The ingredients are a local pro mix, local horse compost because I manage a 35 stall stable, and then at the final stage I get to add worm compost and a little cotton compost. Now per bag I got about 2 to 3, maybe 4 pounds of worm compost in this bag, and it's a 1 cubic foot bag. Now the process to do this is pretty lengthy. It just don't happen overnight. I start my compost last year and I let it naturalize. It's got to come together. It's got to age. It's got to mycorrhizal fungi has to grow in it. So when it gets to the point to where it looks like it's all just together, and it's just fantastic. Let me throw you a handful. Now we're not in the sun right now. Let me just edge out here to the sun. You can get a better see on it. So the color and the definition of the compost is pretty clear. This is not bark and sand in a bag.
Nope.
This is compost, meaning if you're going to have something to grow, this would be it. It also has worms in it. Occasionally you will find a worm in my compost because I can't harvest out all the worm cocoons. So many of my customers tell me that, and then of course, you know, it turns to mud, so it's really good stuff.
Really good stuff. Really good stuff.
This is part of my process today. So I just dropped the bag under there, and I got it. You know, I invested some cash. Sorry for the noise. It's my bag feeder. I invested last year some $80,000 to be able to get to this point of putting this stuff in a bag. And like always, I'm reaching in there to put more in a bag. I don't know why it's in me to always fill these bags up as completely full as I can get them. And then I take it, turn it over. These are recycled bags today too, because my last customer bought 80 and I went ahead and refreshed her garden. Wow. I told her the only problem she's gonna have is she's gonna have too big a plant. Then we sew the bag, we flop the bag, so we get the bag to settle out, and then voila, worm compost soil. Now I'm selling these pretty good. In fact, right now I've kind of sold out almost, but I'm making more for others. I also make a combination horse compost, cotton compost, naturalized bag of fertilizer. I also have a horse bag fertilizer. The horse bag fertilizer is high PK. The cotton horse compost is NPK high, meaning black cow is 0.5, 0.5, 0.5. That's no match for me. I got a 1.2, 0.68, 1.1 as far as fertilizer tested. Now I don't have a guaranteed analysis, but that's what it tested out at. Now I'm gonna sign off now, and this is part A, so this is just a little bit of how I do, and hope you'd enjoy it.
Hey, Mr. Bill, can I ask you a question?
Yeah.
What's the NPK in the worm casting?
My soil, when I have it tested as soil, it's not tested as fertilizer. I wish I could show you just a quick example of what it does, but when it's tested, and I know that this has got to be quick, and I got to find it quick because I might be able to even shoot you a picture.
And you can see all of his hard work. He's loading back up. He sells this, guys. He sells this product so fast.
This is my This is the
Wow.
test from Waypoint. The first two right here are phosphate and potassium. The first two, you see, that's off the chart.
Wow.
The phosphate is off the chart. The potassium is next to being off the chart.
Wow.
And this is what I like also. The zinc is high also. And something else about this soil, I know it's kind of fuzzy. The organic matter, what the organic matter is, a 13 point, no, it says it here, but they tell me the 23.7% organic matter.
Wow.
Now, that's a representation of
That's
compost soil that's fertile. Tomatoes grow big. Peppers are just perfect as far as being not too overly hot, but yet give them credibility. I tell my customers sometimes they'll have more than they can use.
Right. Nice. But guys, yes, come on down, give Mr. Bill a shout, support Mr. Bill. He's a great guy, and you're gonna keep hearing me. You're gonna keep seeing Mr. Bill. Because I've come here. I use this. I get his worm casting, and I use it in my yard when I aerate. So I'm finna get ready to aerate. So that's what I'll be using. But yeah, guys, appreciate y'all clicking on, and like I said, support Mr. Bill. I have all his information at the bottom. Thanks. All right, guys. Here's Mr. Bill again. He's gonna show you where the worm starts off at. His process on getting the worm and everything else. He can tell you better than I can. Here you go, Mr. Bill.
All right, this is segment B, or part B, because I showed you my worm soil and how much, well, I use about a quart and a half per bag in my soil. So when I'm running worm compost, 2,000 and 3,000 pound harvest on my floor in there is common. It's just a question of how much, because my soil demand is so high. These are Worm Factory. These are what I do. I am so poor. Let me tell you, if I had an operation where I could cover everything and make it look beautiful and use 5-gallon buckets that are 15 years old and they're cracking, boy, I wish I could upgrade. But anyway, this is actually my worm compost tea operation back here. I've got 25 of these bins harvesting worm tea. Worm tea is like liquid gold. So I on my 10,000 plants, I feed them worm tea because it's awesome. This is an example of what worms look like in a container. And what they're in there doing is they're creating compost, or they're eating the stuff that I feed them. And what I feed them is just, that's sort of a secret. But if you come by my products and come out and visit me and we talk about how good things are for me and I can make them good for you, well, I can tell you those secrets, because ultimately my mantra is your success is my success. So if you get a hold of this stuff right here, that is liquid gold. That is worm tea. That is foaming. There's so microbial active in there. And when you put that on your plants, I've had double growth. One year I did some ghost pepper, and off of just 2 plants, I harvested 5-gallon buckets of ghost peppers. Now, what did I do with those? I used them for insect repellent, and then I also got chemical burns. I learned my lesson, because ghost peppers are serious, and I don't even go with the vipers because that's just off the chart. Anyway, all my bins, this is the second one, so they're the same. And when I do seminars and stuff, I tell people worm compost is good, but worm tea is better.
Wow.
So the first day you make your worm bin, you're harvesting tea, you're feeding it. And my original investment 20 years ago is paid off $250,000 fold. So if you make a small investment today, it'll keep paying off for the rest of your life. And in some ways, my 600-gallon operation here, it does in a bigger way. It just depends on what you want to do. Now I'm signing off, Bill with Bill's Gardening, Happy Days Red Worm Farm. I'm located in Olive Branch, Mississippi. I do give agri-tours, but I'm poor. So if you want to give me a small donation for my time and excitement of me getting you excited about seeing something like 30 to 40 pounds of tomatoes on a plant, 6-foot high pepper plants, okra so big. 2 years ago, the stalks were like 6 to 8 inches across. And when I'm at the farmer's market, they say they gotta bend them over. What I tell them, I have to climb my okra. I'll leave you off that because I know that is in your mind and you're thinking about how big is that okra that he has to climb. It's like a tree. That's in 6 months growth. So long, signing off. Hope you come visit me. Bye.
That's Mr. Bill. You guys got to come. You got to come visit him. I'm gonna put all his information at the bottom of my content, and I want y'all to come and visit him. He right here in Olive Branch, and man, he had the great prices and everything, and he knows what he's talking about. I love this guy, I promise you. I wish I could stay up here with him all day, but he's just full of knowledge on what he does. So, signing off, guys, and like I said, we're gonna look around a little bit more, and I'll get back with y'all. Peace out.
Right here is just so huge.
So this come out your worm bin, right?
Yeah, this came out of my worm bin.
Oh, it's full of worms.
Yeah, there's 300 pounds in here.
Look at this, guys.
So this will be about a 2,000 to 3,000 pound harvest of worm compost. Now, is there still some original bedding in there? Yes. So after I dry it out sufficiently and run it through my screener right here, the mini Tromel, this is what comes out.
Oh my God.
So
wow.
This is about a 75 to 25. 75% worm poop, 25% bedding. And I tell my customers,
get out of here.
The fertility is awesome on this, but it's not completely worm casting because I don't have that type of operation.
No.
This is worm compost and it still has eggs in it.
It is so fluffy, guys. You would not believe how nice. You can see it. It looked like sand.
Well,
it's
has
crazy.
It has some sand in it.
And it's perfect with sand in it. So, Ms. Bill, what would the price of this barrel here be, or your 50-gallon? Is that what when finished process? This is a finished product right here.
Yeah.
So
this is what I dump into my soil. What I make my soil. This is the soil that I'm using right now to put in the machine.
wow.
This has worm compost. You can see some of it just because there's so much that I put. I put 3 of these barrels onto the floor and then work it into the soil. As far as pricing goes, one 5-gallon bucket is what I sell. These are the bags right there. Right over here is the bag. I use a sand bag.
Okay.
It gets to be a sandbag that has about 20 to 25 pounds.
Okay.
And I get $15.
Okay.
So
Nice.
I kind of feel that would be good.
That is
because
real good.
I'm the guy that makes it.
Yes, ma'am.
You're not getting it secondary from somebody that has to mark the price up. You're getting it from me. So a 5-gallon bucket for $15, and it's pretty fresh too because I go through this stuff really fast.
Wow.
And freshness is a key. So that's
And you can see mountains of this good stuff, guys. It's just mountains of it. And he does all his work himself. And we done bought much product from him, and guys, it just started. It just started. And it's just black gold. And the worms, I wish you guys could see the worms just moving inside of here. Look at this. Unreal.
They'll finish this out.
They'll finish this out, he said. Wow.
They eat their body weight every day. A worm does, if not twice their body weight.
Yeah.
Depending. And there's 300 pounds of worms in here.
Yeah.
So they're eating 300 pounds. I'll let this sit here for about 3 to 4 weeks because it has to get dry enough to be able to screen through that machine. Otherwise, it clogs it up.
There's the machine, guys.
So even after I worm farm it in the bin, I let it sit
got a machine gun. Wow. It's a process. It's a process, guys. And it's a good process. Look at this. Look what he has in his hand.
So this came out of the bins, and this is primarily worm compost with baby worms in it. And I took it off because it's chunked, meaning it's chunked.
Yep.
But I break it apart,
Wow.
and that's
Just dark color.
yeah.
Good organic matter.
Let me run you a worm compost.
Okay. I'm finna get my worm compost bagged up, guys. Check this out. Bill is a busy guy, y'all. You got to come down. If you're here in Olive Branch, Mississippi, or close, stop by here. Please do. But you got to contact Mr. Bill before you do. We'll tell you how to do all that. But check this out. I just bought the compost. He finna bag it up, freshly bag it up for me. Need some help, Bill? Oh yeah, you done this before.
Once I get it in there.
Wow, man. Look how light this is. It's crazy.
Oh my God, that's what I was talking about right here. Look at 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
Wow.
Look at the little worms.
Just everywhere.
Those
They
6,
just-
7.
They just
So when I was saying earlier, I had to look to see if you're going to get one that had worm cocoons in it, and baby worms in it.
Yeah.
So you're not just buying worm compost.
Yeah.
You're getting worms too.
Yeah.
And there's a worm farm here actually.
I know.
If you wanted to put this in a bin, it'd create lots of worms.
That is
Thank you.
true, dude. That is.
You got the right container.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes, sir. And it's so light. Man, it is crazy. Good stuff. Good stuff.
That one's ready to hatch.
I'm getting my compost freshly bagged.
Wow.
Guys.
My weeds grow because I got bees.
Yes, right.
And my bees, I need as much honey as I can harvest.
Yeah.
So I harvest them. This is going to be awesome. For you folks out there that know about that blackberry, take a look at my blackberry cane. The actual cane itself, the quality of the cane. That cane.
Whoa!
This cane is the size of almost an inch
Unreal.
across.
Unreal.
And that's because of soil fertility.
Oh, yes.
And when your soil fertility looks like that,
Yes.
because that was supposed to be a blackberry bed also. Last year, I only planted this side, which is right next to it. This next year, this is going to be a blackberry also.
Yes,
Because everybody loves fresh picked blackberries.
This place is amazing.
These blackberries are going to be wonderful this year as far as because I got plenty of worm action going on underneath the windshield.
See, I told you he knew what he was talking about.
These are Better Boy tomatoes. There's 150 of these here, and they're doing really well. This is a 4,000 crop of garlic. And if you're going to ask me if I'm going to pull the weeds in these, and I'm going to tell you no.
No.
Why? Because I want to keep the soil shaded. And when the grass, this happens to be wheatgrass. When it grows up, what I'm going to do is I'm going to harvest these rows and then throw it back on the soil, and that's going to create a green manure. But something very special about this garden is a worm garden, meaning, so after I planted my garlic, I top dressed this with the horse compost that I got, and right now you can start to see me pull up the worms. But this is what the worms have been eating. Look at the worm egg. And so this is mostly worm compost on top now. But if I'm digging down, I'm finding worms. And there should be just handfuls of worms coming out here. They come flying out.
Nice.
And this is the whole garden that's like this.
I believe you.
So here it is.
Amazing. And he just started pulling them out.
Yeah, the count on this is probably about 30, 40 a square foot.
Ooh,
or more.
That's a lot.
And
you just see how he reaching in, and the soil is so, he hadn't hit a hard spot in the soil yet.
no.
That's how manicured and how organic that soil is that he has out here, guys.
Yeah, and this is awesome here too. So I'm getting ready. This little patch right here is carrots. I'm going to harvest 10-inch carrots out of here.
Okay.
This was top dressed with horse compost, prepared, and the carrots are just now starting to come up. That's going to be farmer's market carrots. I got to put 200 tomato plants down here, and I work my soil. I amend my soil with the horse cotton compost, till it in, drop drip tape on it, and then cover it with black plastic, put the hoops on it. But there's something over here that y'all are gonna go like, oh my God. So one of the things that I got to do that's so extreme, meaning you make something and all of a sudden something happens, right? So I like to grow onions because I like to see how big I can get them. You know, the 1-pounders. So this is my onion patch. All this soil is prepared, but what makes these containers over here special is that they're worm bins.
What? Wait, say that again.
They're worm bins.
Oh my God!
And be careful, you're
You
walking
got to
through
be
this stuff
kidding
right here.
me.
These actually have worms in here, and I'm getting to grow onions in here. And these onions will be so big, and they're so beautiful. And just wait. I expect to have onions this big around. And the reason why I tell you that is because my onion spacing in here is about this far apart.
Okay.
They'll touch each other almost when they finish.
Okay.
And but I'm actually have worms in here, and I put my fertilizer in there, and they do what they do.
They do what they do.
And these are worm bins too,
Right.
but they're not so much so.
Right. So when was harvesting time be on the onions? When would that be?
June.
June, guys.
So what I do is I do seasonal, what's called seasonal production, meaning last fall, November, December, I grow greens because it's a cycle, it's a fall cycle. And then after greens, I turn all of these over into worm bins. I drop worms and I drop my horse cotton compost in about 6 inches. And then I start go through the winter cycle, I worm in these bins. Then after the winter cycle, I start harvesting the worm compost, and that gives me, and what I mean by harvest is I take 6 inches out, worm compost, and that's why this is down like this. But there's some still residual worm compost in here. And then I grow in these. I grow cucumbers, and there's also worms in here. They're probably not on top now because it's gotten too hot. That's mostly worm compost. So
Working up so easy.
yeah, so these will be, I'll start growing, and then these with the carpets on them still have worms in them.
You got carpet laying on top, keep it moist and keep
Yeah.
the sun out. Wow. Just reach in and just,
Yeah, that's mostly worm compost and worms. But they're gone down deep now because it's getting too hot on the top.
there you go.
You can see where
Yeah,
that's
you go.
my old soil down there.
Yeah.
So I call it seasonal cycling.
Seasonal cycle.
Yeah. They're all
Hey guys, still here out at Bill, just enjoying it. A lot of knowledge he has. And check out his pond. It's crazy. You're at the Fairway Bermuda. Out here at the organic farm out here, getting some worm castings and stuff for the soil, for my soil, my Bermuda soil. So yeah guys, this is how it go. So alright, I get back with you. Hey guys, here's all the worm bins right here. He got a ton of them. But I just wanted to show y'all, it's a farm. It's really a farm. I met Bill. He's not even 4 minutes away from me. But I wanted to have some kind of organic, and I read up on worm casting and found Bill. It's kind of crazy. That's what I want to put in my soil. He does sell this everything. He sells compost. Bill sells all organic. He's right here off of Old 78 here in Olive Branch, Mississippi. But yep. Now this the tea. He got a whole. This the tea right here. He make worm casting tea, and he said this is better than the compost. So I might be buying some of that later on down the season. I'm gonna give it a try. But guys, that's all I wanted to show you. He definitely got a farm, and look, he got compost here. Definitely a farm. But I appreciate you guys watching here with the Fairway Bermuda. I'm there. You just didn't know, I'm here with the Fairway Bermuda. But yeah, I here took the day off to come out and talk to Bill and let Bill give y'all his knowledge on it. And I think this is gonna be a great friendship, because that's all I'm about, organics. All right guys, I ain't gonna hold you. Wind blowing. Out here enjoying. Look, Bill gave me some radishes. Wabbit. Peace out. And I'm out.